maybe before the talk, if there's one question, maybe. All the questions in silence. Yeah.
Is the mind a label?
What do you think? What do you think? What does your whole mind think?
Nothing is a label.
Yeah? You think so? Why? Why?
Because everything is label, no? For existence. And then the mind is also a label.
I think the mind is labeled, but also exists from its own side. It also exists from its own side. Don't you think? No? I think it exists from its own side. You don't see a real mind? You don't see there's a real mind? You don't see that there's a real mind? You don't feel that there's a real mind? Huh? You don't think there's a real mind?
Real mind.
You don't do you believe that there's a real mind?
No.
Huh? Do you believe that there's a real mind?
I don't believe that there's a real mind.
You don't believe there's a real mind? Okay. So that means a mind what you have is false mind. That means the mind what you have is a false mind because you don't have real mind. Do you have mind or not? Do you have mind or not? In the first place, do you have mind or not?
There's nobody that have a mind. There's nobody that have a mind.
Oh, there's no body. You mean no body like this or body like this? No body has mind, or you mean no body person?
There's no.
Do you mean the person? No person has mind, or no body has mind? What do you mean?
There's no I.
So,
There is no I that possess a mind.
Ole. 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 So, say, you don't have mind. You don't have mind. It's good. Then no problem. What's the problem? What's the problem?
That's the point.
But
There's no problem.
yeah. So why you're here?
For realize that I don't have any problems.
What? You have realized, or
No.
you not realize you have no problem?
I think I have problems, but in reality I don't have any problem.
You realize you don't have problem. Huh? You have realized you have no problem.
Not yet.
But see. So in reality you don't have a problem. Yeah. So in reality, say, if somebody tells you you're a bad monk, somebody shouts you, you're a bad monk, do you get angry or not? Will you get angry or not?
Depending on the monk.
No. No, somebody shouts on you. Somebody shouts on you. Shout. Somebody makes big noise on you that you're bad monk, something like that.
Yes. Probably.
Do you get angry or not? Will you get angry? Or you'll be so patient and so respectful like this. Say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. What? Which one?
Usually I get angry.
I see. Usually. But not this minute, right? Not just. So you usually want to get angry. Yeah, usually get angry, right? So usually a problem. Huh? Usually a problem, yeah. So, you're not angry now, but in reality you do have anger. So, you do have anger, but in reality you don't have a problem. In reality you have anger, but in reality you don't have a problem. You don't have anger in reality. So in reality you have anger, right? So is that a problem or not?
But the problem is that...
Is that a problem or not? Is that bliss or problem? When you anger, is that bliss or problem?
Depends on your label.
So while you're in anger, do you label bliss or do you label problem? Problem or problem? Do you label it problem or problem? So in reality you have problem. So your anger is a problem, but you don't have a problem, right? Your anger is a problem, but you don't have a problem. Your anger is a problem, but you don't have a problem. That's the differences. What? No. Which one is no? First one, the second one. Okay. Yeah. So, you said, going back, you said you don't have you don't have a real mind. Huh?
Yeah.
You don't have a real mind. You have only a false mind.
No, they have an illusory mind. False and real are not contradictory.
So only you have a false mind, right?
I don't have a false mind.
So you have neither real mind nor false mind. No mind.
There's a illusory mind. There's no real and there's no false. Valid and illusory mind.
What is the illusory mind? If you don't have false mind, what is the illusory mind? Do you have Buddha Dharma? Do you have object of refuge, Buddha Dharma Sangha? Do you have an object of refuge, Buddha Dharma Sangha, or not? What? Huh?
Only conventionally I have.
So conventionally you have, right, Buddha Dharma Sangha. But that's not. Isn't that sufficient? Isn't that enough? You need more than that. You need the Buddha Dharma Sangha more than that. More than conventional. More than conventional. More than conventional truth. Huh? That's sufficient. Huh? Otherwise it'll be too much for you, right? If it exists more than that, it'll be too much for you. Too much. What?
That's my problem now.
What? Less problem if the Buddha Dharma Sangha exists conventionally, right? If the Buddha. Buddha Dharma Sangha. So say. So if conventionally you have the Dharma Sangha, right? So that means you have the Dharma Sangha. Or you don't. Conventionally you have Buddha Dharma Sangha. So that means you have Buddha Dharma Sangha or you don't. You have object of refuge or not. Huh?
I cannot answer that. I don't know what you mean.
But how's it possible? Your mind is how's it possible that you said you have mind or you have mind? I forgot. You have mind or you don't have mind?
No, I said at the beginning that the I doesn't have any mind.
Oh, I see. Now it's very clear. Extremely clear. If the I doesn't have mind, then why does it need refuge? Buddha Dharma Sangha. What for? Because if you don't have mind, you have no suffering. Right? You have no suffering. So why you need a refuge object? Buddha Dharma Sangha. For what? For what?
Because I have a strong belief that I'm suffering. That is not true. I came here to realize that.
Then, do you meditate?
I try.
But you don't need to meditate because you don't have suffering. You don't meditate. Because you don't have suffering. You don't have samsara. You have no mind. There's nothing that which experiences suffering, You see. So, so why do you need to meditate? You don't need to meditate. You don't need to practice Dharma because you don't have suffering. You don't have mind. So you don't have mind. You don't have mind. So means you don't have suffering. So you don't need to practice. Also, you don't have mind. You don't have mind. So it means you don't have mind to benefit others as well. So why do you need to practice that? Why do you need to practice? You see, because you don't have mind. So you don't have suffering. So you don't need to practice because you don't have suffering. Also, you don't have mind. So it means you don't have mind to benefit others. You see. So it's like a table here. Like the plants. No mind. Like this. No mind. There's no mind, They don't practice Dharma. They don't practice Dharma. They don't need to practice Dharma. That's your see. Is your nose need to practice Dharma? Does your nose need to practice Dharma or not? Why? Huh? Why this doesn't need to practice Dharma? Tell me. Why this doesn't need to practice Dharma?
Because they don't need to practice Dharma because
they don't sleep. They don't eat. They don't eat. God listen to.
They cannot sit in a cushion.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. No, they have a very nice jar. They're sitting in a very nice jar. And I broke it. No, it's okay. Okay. Anyway. So that say you don't have mind, but you experience happiness and suffering, right? You don't have mind, but you experience. But you. Oh, I understand. You don't have mind, but you get angry. Oh, I understand. You don't have mind, but you get angry. Right? Uh-huh.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say you have no mind.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you said I. I think it came from your nose. It didn't come from the mouth, it came from the nose. You see? Now I understood, yes. Came from the right nostrils. Maybe this one says different one. It's okay. So you have mind. All right. Yeah, go on.
I don't have mind, but there's a mind. Illusory mind. There's no real one, and there's no I that possesses a real mind also. There's a mind. Illusory one.
So you don't have mind, you don't have body, you have nothing. Yeah? You don't have mind and you don't have body, but you're wearing robes. What do you have lunch today? Where do you have lunch? Where do you have lunch? Why do you need food?
That's the problem. I think I eat, but in reality I don't eat. That's why I eat all the time. Well, not after work, but...
And, yeah.
The suffering exists. The suffering exists.
So in your view, so in your view, see. You have body or not? Huh? You don't have body. Vale. You don't have body. You're not a monk. You're not a monk. No, I'm joking. So both, you see, then they become not monk because you don't have body. You see, you see, then you see, take vows, and then shaved head, and then and then renounce, the lay dress, lay sign costumes, and then wear renounced, you see, sign and costumes, the robes. So yeah. So that is part of precept. So if you don't have body, then see, if you don't have body, see, then no need to take these precepts. You see, no need to take these vows. You see, then this means not monk. So then you see, then from now on you don't need to eat food. From now on you don't need food, you don't need dress. You see, you don't need anything. You don't need money. You don't need anything. No drink, no food, nothing, no shelter. There's no body. What you need? Isn't it? Where are you now? Where are you now? Are you in France? Huh? Are you in France? Are you in Toulouse? No, you're in Toulouse. You're not here, you're in Toulouse. You're in Toulouse, you're not here. Don't you think you're in Toulouse? Huh? So then you are everywhere, like God. Like God. You are everywhere. You're everywhere like God, right?
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
So, why you say you are at Vajrayana? What's the reason for that? What is the reason that you believe you are at Vajrayana?
Because it's the way that the people can understand where I am.
So your address. You are everywhere, but your address is Vajrayana. You are all over the world, right? You are in everyone's house, right? Everyone's house, in toilet, everywhere. But your address is Vajrayana. People to communicate. To send an email. The joke anyway. Yeah. No. So because you said you don't have body and mind. So what is the reason that you believe that you are the Vajrayana? That's a very important reason. Because you don't have body, neither body nor mind. So why you believe you are the Vajrayana? Okay, think about it, okay? So, maybe it's a good idea that tomorrow, either after lunch, the discussion time, or see, guess afternoon one of the times to discussion, talk and maybe some discussion, talk, maybe some introduction, and talk on the how to help the dying person. How to help a dying person or dead person. I think maybe particularly the dying person. Maybe some introduction, then some introduction, then different people who had experiences who had experiences in your life that helped or that made the person's death easier. Less suffering, less fear, happier mind. So things like that, to which caused more peaceful death, passing away. So could you can give your ideas. You see, from your experience that you had, like that. I thought that it is a very, very important education. Very, very important education. I don't think. No, I don't think that is a. Maybe different religions. There's some prayers to do when for the priest what to say, what to pray, something. But I mean, some people wrote. I haven't read, but very good books. A lot of experiences helping dying person. But as a Western society, culture itself, I don't think there's anything to offer. Individually, I think developed insight or the through experiences by helping or maybe wrote books and things like that. The Western society is of the official society itself. In that education, I don't think there's anything to offer to that, to help. That's my view. So, I think it's very important education because very important education because one day suddenly, a family member at your home, a family member suddenly passes away. Then you don't know what to do. You are in big confusion. You see that puzzled and lost. So you see, if your friend, a friend died suddenly, but anyway, died. So you have to help something. So and this is something definitely going to happen. After you, anyway. As oneself live longer, you see somebody, you will see somebody dying. It's a friend or a family member or somebody. So, you need to prepare. You need to prepare how to help. So it's good to. Not only the people who are working for hospitals that not all that. Just generally, I think everybody should learn how to help. When somebody dies, especially they are in the family member or the friend or enemy or say dies, that I think I include the enemy as well. I think. So anyway, I think it's very very good to have that education. What to do. So. Especially by meeting Dharma, by meeting Buddha's teachings, and especially Tibetan Mahayana Buddhism, which has not only sutra but tantra. There's so many methods to help. So many various methods to help. Powerful means to help the person, is dying or is dead, even after death. You see. So I think it's very important. Yeah, I think it's very important service. Very important service to, in regards to benefiting others. As I talked last night, you see, life is to benefit others. So it's a very important education. You see, benefit others. Why? Why? Because why? Because it's the most. It's it's the most crucial time of life. That decides. You see, of course, mainly depends on the karma of the person. But at the time of death, there's good support, right environment, good, useful environment when the person is dying. Useful environment, for the mind, to help the mind of the person. Useful environment, and that doesn't donate, that doesn't give extra, doesn't cause extra fear, worry, donation, extra suffering, donation to the person who's dying, you see. So not being like that, so anyway, so here mainly to, help the mind. So depending on that, there's good support, you see, condition. Then that help the mind of the person, and then the person can die in virtuous thought, and the person can have good rebirth. The person can have good rebirth, better life. Leave this unhealthy old body and have a young body, a better life next to see. By dying with virtuous thought, with a positive thought. You see. Maybe the body is unhealthy, but dying with a healthy mind. Like that. So, also very much depends on, see, even a very evil person, it is said in the powa teachings, it is said in the teachings, the powa, the transferring consciousness in the Pure Land, that special practice. It says even a very evil person, even if the person is very evil, lived a very evil life. But you see, if one can be careful at the time of death, it can be born in Pure Land. The person can be born in Pure Land of Buddha, which the definition of Pure Land, pure means there's no pure because there's no suffering, old age, sicknesses, and death, these things. It doesn't have these things, like the problems that we have, you see, that are in the human realm. So, by that sense, it's called pure. So that, and in the sum of the Pure Land, you can definitely become enlightened, like Hiruga, deities are Pure Land, Vajrayogini Pure Land. And definitely, once you're born there, you definitely become enlightened. And in that life, it is very, very much emphasized by Papanga, great enlightened being Papanga Tejinpo. So that whereas Amitabha Pure Land, Amitabha Pure Land, that's for general sentient beings. It is very easy to be born. Amitabha Pure Land is very easy to be born there because so due to that is because of the power of bodhichitta. Before I think the rims of the spoke, the Bodhisattva, rims of the spoke, not 100% sure, but I think, and with the bodhichitta, but see, loving kindness, compassion, thought, bodhichitta generated to a sentient beings. Visualize this Pure Land, this incredible, this Pure Land that all the qualities, all this pure enjoyment, which has incredible beauties, purest enjoyment, incredible beauty, all these qualities. So every tree is a wish granting tree. So visualize every tree there is a wish granting. So whatever you think in front of that tree, whatever wishes you generate, you see, everything happens. Everything gets actualized, materialized. So it's like the wish granting jewel, same. The wish grant and the Pure Land is the truth, wish granting jewel. So whatever you wish you generate, by the power of that. Of course, it's based on your having collected good karma, so much merit in the past. Of course, there's no question. Because of your good karma, then you have this wish granting jewel, or you have found this wish granting jewel, or this wish granting tree. So whatever wish, then can materialize. You see, I mean, it is similar. Whatever, because of so much merit collected, so they become powerful. So then, as whatever wish you generate, you see, that person, the people around you do everything without even asking, without even need you to ask. They just do naturally. Fulfill your wishes. So like that, you see. Of course, it's based on good karma. So anyway, so even the trees in the Pure Land is wish granting, your wish fulfilling. So that is. So this Bodhisattva visualize all these, qualities, beauties, the blissful, lapis lazuli ground, very blissful nature. When you touch, when you step over, so things like that. Now you are with all the beauties that the birds, they make sound of dharma, like that. Even the wind blowing, even the wind blowing the trees, teaching. They say gives teaching, like that. See, that all the time filled with a scented smell. The whole atmosphere, very blissful, very scented smell. Things like that. So visualize all this incredible, unbelievable quality, beauty, enjoyment, and by so much prayer for sentient beings, very easy to be born there. You see, so the Pure Land, Amitabha Pure Land, this happened. Those who get born there, you see, then due to their good karma, of course, yeah. Then also depending on the bodhichitta, this bodhisattva, you see, it came from. You see, how this materialized, actualized is because he dedicated. You see. To actualize like this for the sentient beings. Where sentient beings, where ordinary sentient beings who are deluded, so easy can be born there. And so visualize all these beauties, unbelievable, unimaginable beauty, all this incredible enjoyment, you see. With the bodhichitta, with this bodhichitta. So, total benefit understanding. So all these, came from this bodhisattva's power of his good heart. So it's benefits of bodhicitta, actually, the whole Pure Land. So that, and the other sentient is so easy can be born by generating wish, praying, by the Amitabha name, the generosity. Then you see those Buddha's names. Very easy to be born there. You see, at the time of death. So even ordinary beings without realization, so this Buddha made special prayer. So even ordinary beings without realization, to deluded beings, then raised born. Once you are born in this Amitabha Pure Land, you see, then it's impossible to be reborn in the hell, hungry animal realms. Impossible. Even you come back from Pure Land here in the world where there's sufferings, where you see there's great benefit if you're there. Where you see great benefit, the world, you see in the human world, where you see a country where you see great benefit if you're there. So you see, come back and you see benefit. So you see the sentient beings like that. So yeah. Great benefit to sentient beings like that. It seems many of the great lamas that who did incredible benefit work, extensive for sentient beings, so extensive benefit. Spread with Dharma in this world, came from Pure Land, such like that. So, like Dushita, Pure Land, Mitriyapada was Lama Zopa was Pure Land. Anyway, so to come, to help liberate others from the suffering. So, then according to my grace, Sonas Trijang Rinpoche, because I sent a question through letter, whether whether you can become enlightened, whether you can practice Tantra in Amitabha Pure Land. So Rinpoche answered, Yes, definitely you can become enlightened in the Amitabha Pure Land. Rinpoche answer that, but Dhammalucha Rinpoche, and I think it's Rinpoche. Some other lamas they don't accept that. They say that you can become enlightened there. So those Bodhisattvas, in Amitabha Pure Land, there is no tantra teaching, so therefore they pray. They have to pray to be reborn here in the human world, like in this human world, the southern continent. There's a human world in one entire universe. There's eastern, one as a mandala or one entire universe. There's eastern human world, and southern universe, north, western the human world. So we are in the southern continent, So only where there is tantra teaching is only in southern continent, not other human world. So the Bodhisattvas they have to pray to be born in our world, southern continent, and to practice tantra, so to become enlightened quickly. So as far as becoming enlightened, the practice tantra has different views. So all that. So see, what I'm saying. What did I say before the Pure Land? What did I say? Huh? Helping people to the eye. What? What?
You also talk about the importance of developing a Western way of assisting the dying. As a Western society, it would be beneficial for us to develop a ways of doing that. I wonder whether the powa would be
What?
I wonder whether for us to go
Will fit. Will fit in whether it will fit in the Western world.
Well, I have no doubt of that, but I wonder whether that is because sometimes I wonder why Rinpoche, from my knowledge, we never get the teachings of powa in our tradition, like in other traditions, like Kagyu and so forth. And I was wondering about that, why we learn those practices.
You can learn power while you're sleeping.
Sorry?
While you're sleeping, you can do power. No joke. Yeah. Yeah. Did the power just not much. There are few some places. I think Laudo. I think I remember one time. But I remember all the nuns, the Tibetan nuns, were doing the hik. This making noise. What? Sometimes when you become very old, do you have the hik? I'm not sure. Do you get a hik when you become old? Huh? Hik. When you become old age, do you get a hik? I'm not sure. Well, I think whether here among the Tibetan, maybe when you have a hik, it means you're growing. Oh, this is Western? Is that Western? When you get hik, it means you're growing. Hiccup. When you have hiccup, you're growing. I say, not bad. Anyway. Anyway. So remember, during powa, and so there are some old monks. One who did 100 minne, he became monk after not early times. One couple, they married couple, already very old, escaped from Tibet, and then later they become monk nun. But this monk, he did. He's one of the person that Tsatsa, when somebody died, in those areas, those Namche Bazaar, different there are many villages scattered. So when someone dies, then they ask him to make Tsatsa for the person who died. And that's what he does. And then he's a caretaker of the temple, the Tammu monastery, the one Gilgu monastery that happened later. So he does a few hundred water offerings, and then many Tsatsa, and he did 100 minne. He did in Lao cave, I think. Within 1 year, he did. After he finished 50, then he had a break. I think he went for alms, begging alms. The monks, nuns, they go for alms. I think in times when the potato, when people get potato from the field, that time when they go for alms. So after 50, then he had bread. So then, I think 6 months, then he had bread. Go farm, then come back, then do another 6 months. So that did in Lao cave. That time he was a caretaker of the Lao. And during that time, must be due to his good karma, merit, because he planted the flower outside the cave on the courtyard. He put stones around, well, then this yellow flower, the saffron, saffron flower there. He planted, and that's the only time that I saw flower growing that way. So this one, so in the center there's the main one here. Then around there are many. Around there are many, you see, birds, flower birds, and then so there are many like this. One in the center, then many. That's the only time that I saw such a flower like that. I never saw before. So I remember he was doing the heat during the powers. They're sending cartons, shooting cartons to the Pure Land. So he was making different noise. He was making different noise. So I remember from that. So everybody had to make noise. It's heat. So he was making something different noise, different style. So yeah. And in Hong Kong, I think maybe a long time ago, Yeah. I think, I think 1 or 2 places on that, yeah. Last time, children was part of it. During the Lama teachings at LMB, children was gave extensive teachings on the it gave power and very clear, so very good advices. I think helping the dying. That. I think more important than power. Yes, there is like the digung that's very common, that the tradition that particular functions and that. But the power, every tradition has sort of a tradition. But more important than the power, that's guarantee. That's guarantee pure land or good rebirth next life. Guarantee that is better than power, more safe, I say, more confident than the power. More confident, or that one can trust more, for sure. Definitely that you can achieve, that you'll have good result. Where without obstacle, to be born in pure land, or to have a perfect human rebirth. You see. That is, you see, no obstacle that can achieve that these results is the, you see, there's as we recite every morning in the Guru Puja, the section of the Lamrim, there's a part talking about keeping the mind happy, keeping the mind happy by continuously practicing the two bodhichitta, that, and then the integrating whole lifetime practice into 5 power. Then there is this the prayer. If one didn't get to complete the path, there is a generation stage. After Lamrim's 6 parameters finished, then in a generation stage, tantric path with generation stage, and talking about completion stage to actualize, to actualize illusory bodhicitta light. You see, and then in case if that didn't happen, didn't get to achieve enlightenment in this life, didn't get to exercise those paths, then you see, then then you see, by the power of wish, by the power of the intention, and then to transfer in the consciousness in the Pure Land, where you practice tantra, become enlightened. There, there's a prayer there. May I be born in Pure Land. By the practice, the teaching city of 5 powers, the practice near the death time. You see, so this one, even we know the technique, the tantric method, transferring consciousness in Pure Land. Even we know very well by heart. But it doesn't mean at the time. It doesn't mean when you die that it will work. You see, the definitely see. The able to transfer the consciousness without an obstacle to Pure Land Buddha, where you wish to be. So, I say, if there's no foundation, renunciation, the most important basis, renunciation of this life, the renunciation of future samsara, that very important foundation. So, and this is the bodhichitta. So, just knowing the technique itself, tantric technique itself, that see without those, those foundations not strong. If it's not there, then the technique alone doesn't not necessarily that will work at the time of death. And it's slowly. It's possible you face hardships, you face difficulties, you face you get stuck, and and find unable to transfer, not free, unable to transfer consciousness in the Pure Land. Unable to shoot your conscience in Pure Land, and so that. As there, many of you heard already this story that in Tibet, one old monk, he knew the technique very well, extremely well. he was trying to. At the time of death, he was trying to shoot his conscience, in the Pure Land, Bodhichitta Pure Land. And then, so he was able to. Got stuck. He could not shoot his conscience in the Pure Land. So his guru. I'm not sure the name. His guru knew wherever his guru was in that time, knew this. His student, this old monk, is the guru saw from the place where he was. So in this minute that he disciple, this old monk was having difficulties, to shoot his conscience in Pure Land. So, so then immediately he sent his disciple, one young monk, living in Tantric vows, to pass message, to give the message to this old monk that there's a better say, Tibetan tea, in the Pure Land. There's a better Tibetan tea, in the Bodhichitta Pure Land. So it's a shark. It's called shark. There's a better shark in Bodhichitta Pure Land. So the young monk went to see the young monk. As soon as he passed his message, there's a better shark in the Bodhichitta Pure Land. As soon as he gave the message to this old monk, immediately he was able. Immediately he was able to transfer consciousness immediately to the Pure Land. So the reason was because the monks, especially in Tibet, is monk. There's not much. There's not the enjoyment. You see, it's just the Tibetan tea. There's not the enjoyment. Nothing. You see. General monk. You see. So the butter, so shark means, you see, the butter over the tea. Shark is the butter over the tea. Because Tibetan tea is made of butter, you see, the salt. So butter over the tea, butter that stays over the tea, that's shark. So that's regarded very important in enjoyment. Shark, there are many shark, thick shark, and so I think so it seems maybe the shark, maybe they drank tea, but it sounds like the shark is there. The butter left in the bowl. It's a wooden bowl. The shark is there. The butter, you see. So this regard to the precious or something. So this almost mind was attached to the shark, left over in the bowl. You see, shark. So I guess maybe Western terms, maybe ice cream, chocolate. Ice cream. Anyway, so so his mind is attached to these shark. So they were unable to shoot unable to go to Pure Land, even though the technique, the technique very well. So he had a lot of difficulties. You see, so then as soon as he received the message, as soon as it was from his guru, there's better shark in Bodhichitta Pure Land, you see. Then immediately, so like this example. So like this example. So like this example. So what I would say, preparation for death for your soul. Essential thing, of course, of course, very essential thing is, that correctly, guru devotion practice, correct devotion friend. And if there's any mistakes, anything, any problem or any, say, anything happened, purify, to fix up, to purify. That's extremely the most essential. First thing. That's the first thing to do. That's the first thing in life to do. As quick as possible. So that then the practice in the essence, practicing the 5 power, integrating lifetime practice into 5 power. So that that's training. That's the training in everyday life. You're making preparation for your death the best way. You see that the main thing there is the heart thing there, the bodhichitta practice, living the life of bodhichitta. And then to split yourself from self-cherishing thought. You see, so split yourself from self-cherishing thought. You see, the heart in these 5 powers, the heart. So then, if you're able to do this, no question, at the time of death, when you are able to practice naturally, you're able to practice the 5 power at that time. Then you see that's then everything. Then so you see no obstacle at the time of death, no obstacle to go to Pure Land, whatever, to receive perfect human body, whatever, all that one wishes. So that is in the short answer, I say for oneself, to help oneself. There might be there can be many things explained, but this in the condensed, this is what it is. So the practicing in the daily life. So how it will turn out, the end of your life. Very good at the time of death. You see, very good, very successful, happiest one. Very fruitful, or very difficult one. Can't do any practice, only fear, worry. Can't remember the practice. And totally terrified, totally overwhelmed by karmic appearance. You're not born yet in the lower realm, but already you have all the signs, all the terrifying karmic appearance. You see, it's happening on you. You see, already the sign preparation is already happening, experiencing at the time of death. All kinds, seeing many terrifying things, happening to the person, him or herself, even nobody, even whole family, even all the people in the house cannot see anything. But this person whose karma has already happened, then has all these terrifying appearances. So, sign to be born, you see, in the law realm. So, what is going to be extremely difficult, most terrifying one. So, so somebody was who met Dharma, you see, then it depends on how so much depends on the correctly devoting virtuous friend, how much well done, how much well done. So the result, it affects. You see, of course, the result affects normally in the life, day-to-day life. It affects somebody who is having very successful realizations. Mind not going down, only going up. Month by month, year by year, only going up, not going down. Experiences getting better and better. So those we see that shows you see the correctly working virtuous friend is very well done. You see that the result expresses that. Yeah. So including how you see that will turn out. So much depend that, and then of course, person. Of course, the person who never met, didn't make connection, relation, and haven't met Dharma or haven't met teaching of Buddha, haven't met a guru, even non-believable. It's a non-believer say. What's that? Even non-believable say. Non-believable? What's that? Huh? How do you say? Non. Non-believer is even non-believer is a person who doesn't have any particular religion, no faith, in particular, you see, religion. But you see here, there's no guru, there's nothing. But here, what makes a good death for that person? Happy death, free death, happy death, without worry, fear. Is you see, no particular belief, but a person lived with compassion, life, sincere. Person lived with this very sincere life, very ethical. Sincere means ethical. When the person is sincere, the ethical also comes there. Ethical life also comes. By the way, of course, then on top of that, of course, there's good heart towards others. Then of course, even much. Then that's even much better. So a person lived very sincere life, ethical life, not cheating others, so doing harm to others. sincere ethical life. Those especially good-hearted. Normally, there's no particular faith in religion or this or that religion, but a very generous, kind person. So that person who lives life like that, then there's always a good result. There's always a good ending in life. Because so it is scientific because sincere life, you see, and not a good heart, generous, kind person. So they always help others. Whatever they think to help others, and you do, and not much harm to others, and so even normally daily life, there's more peace and happiness in the, more satisfaction, more fulfillment in the heart of the person, even in normal life. And then also death, the very end of life, then no worry. They say no worry, no fear. Of death. There's no worry, fear of death. And then death doesn't frighten to that person. Even the person knows that he or she is dying, but death doesn't frighten. Death doesn't become subject of frightening to that person. You see, because and there's no guilt, because sincere life and top of the good hearted, so there's no guilt. You see, pain, emotion, as upsetness, at the time of death. So very happy, say very satisfied, like very happy. So death, for that person's mind, death did not become, death didn't become, that experience of life did not become frightening one. It's just a change, just a change of life. You see. Just that. There's no, and also that means. You see, there's no, even though a person doesn't particular, think about reincarnation or future life, but you see, because of the effect of this sincere life and you see, good heart, being kind, generous. So the effect is that, say, even though not particular in about believing reincarnation, this and that, but just but somehow you see, there's no fear. Something's going to. There's no fear, worry. Something's going to happen after death. After this life, something's going to happen. Going into you're going into something black, something very dark. Somebody there's a premonition before. You see, you fear of that something going to happen. So even for non-believers, who don't believe in karma, who doesn't understand. So, but here there's no such thing. There's full confidence. There's full confidence. There's no fear, worry, or what's going to happen after this. Mind is so relaxed, so naturally it's like that. Even when doesn't know exactly that I'm going to be, devil realm or human realm or pure, but even when doesn't see the future, but you see, but it's totally, relaxed. Mind is totally relaxed, peaceful. There's no any worry, fear. Something's going to happen. Something terrible is going to happen after this. So you see, so like that. What's that? In Australia, I was in Australia when I was an athlete quite a number of years ago. I did retreat there in Adelaide. One student, one member of the center's house. So I was listening in the afternoon the radio because one student, Carol, what's her last name? I'm sure. Carol, she was doing work, radio. So maybe 6,000 or 60,000. I'm sure people listens to her. So I was curious how she talks. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Time to time, when she interviews people, talk to people, time to time, then she brings meditation. Here and there, it's just which is very the other people don't hardly think of that kind of subject. So, but she brings time as solution like that. But doesn't go farther. Just bring up, But the point I was going to talk is that her friend, one who does redo, anyway, something on his name, but I forgot. Anyway, he was doing. He was also doing interview. So there was one lady. Said, I don't know what was about the interview, but this lady said, she said she's not afraid of death. She said, I'm not afraid of death. And she said that, I know where I'm going. She said, I'm not afraid of death. I have no fear of death. I know where I'm going. But this person, but I think this, for him, probably maybe unexpected or unnormal, not normal subject. I think maybe unexpected. So he didn't discuss with her further, to find out, which I was hoping, which I really hoped that he would interview more to the person, but didn't do it. He just left. He just dropped there. So anyway, so like that. I don't think my feeling was I don't think she's Buddhist in particular. She's, I think in the West, there are people like that say. So that how you live your life, possible like this, normally, then that reflect the time of death, it shows. So death time life is kind of the examination, how you live your life. In this examination, anyway, that's examination test, an examination of how you live your life, it shows. So that so in the case of even non-believer in not a particular religion, so you see like that. So then here you can. So people who didn't live sincere life, a lot of cheating, harming others, create many so much giving harm to giving harm so much to us, and that means on some of the immoral life, unethical. And then of course very selfish, very self-centered, and things like that. So then you see, even talking here, even as a non-believer, see here, then of course there's a lot of suffering in the life, a lot of misery, so and at the time of death, you see, then death appears to that person, you see, very frightening subject, very frightening phenomena, very terrifying phenomena, and then you see, then there's incredible fear. Within fear, there's some feeling there, something most terrible, some heavy things going to happen after this life. Some feeling there. Or I think I heard they express the feeling they're going to, after this, going into some very big darkness, something frightened. So there's some feeling, see, that. So here you can see. Actually, death is not death is not a problem. So, we can, one way is to say death is not what causes fear. Death is not the cause of fear. Or the word fear. You see, is the persons are the selfish mind, anger, especially those these delusions, ignorance and attachment, these delusions, the negative karmas, along with this negative thought, engaged in the negative karmas. So this, see, this makes death, see, this makes death difficult. This makes death as frightening to the person. So actually, it's what makes the death. Actually, what makes all this fear, worry, all this at the time of experiencing death and after death, all this, you see, actually came from the fear, caused by self-cherishing thought, selfish mind, and anger and desire. So this ignorance, anger, attachment, this delusions. So yeah. Actually, all this came from this. It's fear, worry, all this. Death become frightened to the person mind. It all came from these negative thoughts, wrong concept. So that's why the other person who live good, is a sincere life, good-hearted, generous, even is non-believer. Compassionate life. has a very good ending life, very peaceful, very happy. Very happy, and it kind of it becomes very happy, and passing away. That made everyone kind of happy, kind of so much, kind of encouraging, kind of special, encouraging. Something to admire, see, by others. Inspiration, example. The other one, with so much screaming and so much, fear and so much fear and worry and all that. Then I say, so much suffering at the time of death. So the others can't do much, what the families can do. So that makes even a case more, what you can do. See, even to suffer more, more sad and unhappy, so that. Yeah, then. Just to finish the last part, which I started a few times, then never happened. To understand more about karma and to be mindful more karma, subtle karma, I say. Not only understanding karma and mindfulness, the karma. Not only it become preparation, basic, preparation. In everyday life for one's own death, and the happiness of not just death, but happiness future life, all the coming happiness of all the coming future lives, in preparation for total liberation from the whole entire suffering, the causes, and in the preparation for enlightenment, to achieve a state of omniscient mind for the benefit of the sentient beings who are numberless, who want happiness, who do not want suffering, and who are dependent your help for them to be free from the oceans of samsaric suffering and cause the delusion karma and them to achieve enlightenment. That and then also it helps. This gives awareness how to help to others. Helping the mind of other sentient being, is as you can see, is the best help. Benefiting the mind, helping the mind of other sentient being. is the best help. That's the only way to stop to save them from the sufferings, and how to bring them, cause them happiness. Not only happiness in day-to-day life, not only happiness at the time of death, especially happiness of all the coming future lives, then liberation from samsara, ultimate happiness, causing them ultimate happiness, then full enlightenment. So the foundation, the understanding karma, and so this opens the mind. That wisdom, Dharma wisdom, how to benefit others in things. What's the important benefit to others in things? So that. So the say the an example. So this is the some basic example. The karma, or the opposite is a good karma. So that so the the complete negative karma, the complete negative karma of killing, which is the motivation and action base, and then goal. So 4 things. That other being dies before oneself. So that's the goal. So the having then this killing is done with the self-cherishing thought. So and then with the anger or the attachment, then so the ignorance, so now become negative karma. So the action, this way the action became negative karma. Due to this non-virtuous thought, motivation, and this self-cherishing thought. And so, So that has four suffering results. So rapid aspect result rebirth in the lower realm, hell, hunger, animal realm, one of those. Then after some time, after some time, due to another good karma, you're born a human being. Then you experience three types of problems, sufferings from that need karma of killing. You see, in that life, creating a result similar to the cause, and experiencing a result similar to the cause, and the possessed result. So the possessed result. The things in the outside in the world, food and drinks, medicines, the crops, the fruit, things that you see has very little protein. Due to has very little protein. Those outside enjoyments. Even the medicine has very small effect. It's correct medicine, but it's very small effect. You see, to heal the sicknesses. It's like that. So food, those things, very small protein. So, very small capacity. And then very difficult to digest. But so as I often say, so digestion problem is a result of the karma of killing. Then these so the food and drinks, you see, those causes sicknesses instead of health. It causes for that person sicknesses. So I think even though it's a correct medicine, but it has side effect. I say to that person. So same, food causes sicknesses, for that person. It's not same for everybody, it's for that person. And then even medicine, you see, it's a correct medicine, but it's a side effect to that person. So that where some of the people doesn't have side effect. It really helps. So that then you see, even though the person has a life to live, according to past karma, life to live longer, but untimely death happens. You see, so like that. So like this. So that's the possessed. See, the result of the karma of killing, that you experience later when you're born a human being. These problems you experience. See. Then experiencing the result of the cause, and that in a shortage life, there's many sicknesses. Like that. One after another, so many sicknesses in the life. Like this. So there's the clinical explanation of where the sickness come from. Sometimes maybe there be wrong explanation, but however, more more they check, then you see, may examine, then you see, sometimes the change in the explanation, in the what was explained in the past, long time ago. Now there's different discoveries or things like that. So sometimes what I said to be anyway, evolution or harm, but now it's not. So anyway, to develop through more development of education. So anyway, so here talking about the main cause of sicknesses, that is not the deeper way of explaining the cause of sicknesses, which doesn't come out. This education in the common people in the common world, or the common people's modern people's in the world, in the education doesn't come out. In the explanation doesn't come out. So you see, so I think these deeper explanations comes from where the life problems comes from, where the life problems come from, the deep explanation, the deeper cause, then the actual cause, then from the omniscient one's teachings, omniscient, fully enlightened, omniscient one's and the teachings as they see, as they see every single karma cause of every single happiness and every single problems, sufferings of sentient beings. If they can see, without slightest mistake, ignorance, can see directly, so that so these subjects that which can be discovered by advanced mind, who has advanced mind, whose power of understanding more developed, who has more clear mind, more clear mind to see beyond from this life, to see future beyond from this life, to see past, past before this life. Okay, who has a more clear mind, less defiled, more clear mind. So, who has more the potential to say developed power to see things. Deeper. So, then able to see the karma, by having foreknowledge, the clairvoyance, like Lama Zopa says in the 11th path of enlightenment, by achieving shamatha, to be able to benefit for others, to be able to be really able to benefit for other sentient beings, you need clairvoyance. And so, then says, to achieve shamatha, like that. To be really able to help others, benefit others, need to have clairvoyance, to see past, future, or things, even the present, to see. And, so to... So as I mentioned somewhere in the recent time also, the clairvoyance, they say clairvoyance you need also in business. If you don't have clairvoyance, then in the business life, then you see after some time your business completely collapses. You think because you have been successful for a long time, more and more profit, you'll be so successful. So then that person also desire, also want more and more. So then person continues, you see. They want to completely collapse. You see, when it was small, collapse, only you collapse small. But you see, few $1,000s, few $100 you collapse, But here, billions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars. You see, when you go up like that, then when you collapse. So like this. So there are many people like this. So there are many people like this in the world. In the world, you see. So much suffering, you see. Anyway, so you need clairvoyance. You need to also put also as a doctor, to treat patients. Also, you see, need clairvoyance because and not enough what is explained in the book. What you taught in the what you learned in the university or college or however, what others explained, what explained book is not enough. There are many other things which are not explained there. Many details. So then you get confused. You see, so there are many cases that doctors cannot explain. There are many cases. Patients. Sicknesses. What's happening within the person? There are many things. Many times the doctors could not explain. Doctor could not find any mistakes in the body by checking all the X-ray and so forth. But the person is very, very sick. Some of the pain, but the doctor could not explain. So there are many things. You see. So again, here you need clairvoyance to really help. To understand exactly what cause conditions, everything. So that's the lack of not really knowing what the cause conditions exactly. Maybe you know some part, but you don't know all. But you can't see all complete. You see, maybe you know half. So, and then also let's say even in politics, you need clairvoyance. Even in politics, because otherwise you plan something, then that doesn't work out, then collapse. Get in, and then get into mess and trouble, end up disasters. So even in politics, you need to see future. What's going to happen? You need clairvoyance to be able to guide the people, to be able to guide the country. So that you see. Then of course, no question. Then to bring sentient beings to enlightenment. Of course, that to reveal the means to the sentient beings. You see, to fit it exactly according to the mind of the sentient being, then you need to know their level of mind. They say the karma. So here, how you will know how you will know what kind of karma they have. You see, so here again you need to to really help others to fit it exactly, according to karma. Then you need to know the karma, what kind of karma they have, what kind of imprint they have. So you need, you need all this, advance to the, his, so not a more clear mind, or in other words, put, power mind, understand, developed, see. So, So even in the world, even though so like this, not only bringing the sentient beings to enlightenment, not only that, but even the world matters, even the worldly matters. You need clairvoyance, otherwise you make many mistakes. See, even in the relationships, you see, if you don't have clairvoyance, there's all the future problems, Anyway, so anyway, like that. So that you can see everything, all the future clear, then you are saved. You know what to do. You see. So, but say. Also, in the case of war, you don't have to kill so many people. It saves money, saves many billions and billions and billions of dollars. Since saves so many zillions of dollars, it saves money. It saves lives of so many. It saves so many lives of the armies, your own, other people. You see. You see, so it becomes very simple if you have clairvoyance. It becomes very simple. You see, it doesn't need to kill so many people. You see, it becomes very simple. So one can do things. One can do things unknown. Sit unknown. Without making big noise, without making big noise in the world. Anyway, so so besides understanding understanding karma, your future, your past karma, other people's karma, reincarnation. Beside that, you see, not only clairvoyance. What I'm saying is not only in this. What I'm saying, you see, what I'm saying is that even we don't have omniscient mind, and the ultimate, you see, omniscient everywhere. But you see, clairvoyance to be able to see beyond, to be able to discover. You see. So this way you make so much. You make what is worldly matters, what is worldly activity. You make so much. You make less. You make so much. I say. You have great success. You have very little. Say no mistakes. You don't make mistakes, or you don't make very little mistakes. In even the worldly activities, in all those examples that I mentioned, and no question, the spiritual day. You see, liberating sentient beings, that no question. By revealing path. So need, to see. This, karma. See, if you see the karma of other sentient being, then you know what to do. You see, exactly without mistake. Like that, you see. So, and then the creating results mean the causes. Involving, I say, in next lives, when you born a human being again, you do the same thing, killing, engaging the karma of killing. Same sort of that. So if one doesn't purify the negative karma, if one did not purify that one negative karma of killing, then you see it has a four suffering result one has to experience. One of them is creating result from the cause, and then that produces four suffering result. One of them is engaging again same negative karma. Later, then again that produces four suffering result. It goes on and on. Then it makes endless suffering. So it causes endless suffering. So in the future lives it goes on and on. So therefore, how to say, it become so essential. Now the solution is to purify the negative karma, which was all done, and then the other thing is to not commit again. So therefore, this is what we're doing here now during this retreat, taking Atmana precepts. So that's what. So you can see now that's the key. That now you can see here taking Atmana precepts how it become incredible urgency. The method to stop your suffering. To stop your suffering by purifying the negative karma and stop. Living the vow to not living the vow abstaining from killing. So these two dharma practice. So it becomes the taking Atmana precept, so that so the abstaining from killing so plays very important role. So this way, then it has this completely good karma, living in the vow, abstaining from killing has for result happiness, rebirth in happiness as per result rebirth. The body of the happy martyrs when they were human or pure land, like that. And then you see, and so total opposite to the previous one. The possessed result, there's only the all these things, you see, enjoyment, food and drink and medicines, all the crops, whatever. All these are very that doesn't cause danger, sickness for life. It only causes healthy and long life. See, so like that. So and very long life and very healthy life. So that then again future lives. You again be due to this imprint, taking precepts in this life, living the morality, abstaining from killing, and future lives. Then this gives the opportunity to, again, to practice morality. You see, to create the cause of happiness, cause of good rebirth. You see, so that then. So like that also, from life to life, result to have a result happiness. Then the completing the karma of stealing. As the it has same motivation-based action, goal. So, then the thing that is which cost material, which is costing, and then it has to be something which costs. Then that is honor, ungiving. That is ungiving. That is not belong to you, belong to others. Ungiving. Then goal. Whenever you think, I've got it. So that time, then it's completely negative karma of stealing. If you don't have that thought, I've got it, possessing, that your mind possess, I've got it. Then if that didn't happen, the stealing is not completed. So completing the karma of stealing then has a four suffering result. Rapid aspect, rebirth in the lower realm, one of those, and then three suffering result you have to experience in the later. You see, not a good karma when you're born a human being, then you experience in that life. So the positive result, and then place where one live, or where was born, or where one live, then the crops, fruit, those things very little. And then you see worms eat you grow crops, vegetables, all these worms eat. Worms they eat. Then you see, so those other different insects they eat your food. You see the vegetable or crops. And then like rabbits. Rabbits, eat other animals. You see, eat. So that. This is so many. So there's no protection for your crops. You see. So all the in New Zealand, I think when I was there some time ago, some years ago, there was a problem that rabbits, was it rabbit, I think. So I think the whole forest covered by rabbits or something. Anyway, so many rabbits increased. So the government said, or maybe the agriculture, anyway, they say yes, they fly, they from the airplane they put medicine. What's that? Huh?
Poisonous carrots.
Poisonous what? Carrots. So the airplane comes. One of the Mahamudra center. So on the mountain, you see, the plane comes, quite close. Then they, similar extinguishing fire. Similar. There was something white that spread out in the forest. The plane goes like that to kill all the rabbits. Yeah. So you see, so that means, by killing them, it doesn't solve the problem. You see, by killing them, even though they all die there, but you see, by killing them, you're creating another problem, cause another problem to happen. not cause another problem to receive for the people. You see, you see what I mentioned before: shortage life, many sicknesses. You see, the experience and result from the cause. So you see, possess result, which I mentioned before. So all these problems, you're creating by killing them, you create a cause of all those problems to receive. And because you see, because of the karma, because you have the karma of stealing, that your crops get, there's no protection for your food, for your crops. So there's insects. There's so many different types of insects, worms eating, and the rabbits they eat. So you see, and no protection for the food. So this is a result of past the karma of stealing. Why this is happening? So therefore, you see, therefore, it means as long as you don't purify the negative karma of stealing, this problem is always there. No matter how many times you kill them, even they are killed, but others will come. You see, even those who are eating, they are killed, but there's other will come again and again. So this was what's happening. The more rabbits killed, more rabbits coming. So like that you see. So one family somebody had a problem of mouse. You see, so many mouse problems. So ask one Lama. I think this Lama's name is Ludu Rinpoche. I think something like that. There's one Incan Lama that we are friends with Baksa, one of the young Lamas. I think it might be him. So he advised the family to make a party for the mouse. So give lots of food. On the floor, put a lot of food. To put a lot of food. So what happened was the mouse, they all left. The next, they all left. You see, it's like that. That when you actually want to give, Anyway, since they left after that, you see, after you made a party for them, So that's interesting. That is interesting karma. Probably before you're not giving, now you're practicing giving. But somehow they left. So either you see here now, either you don't have merit. I don't know. Either you don't have merit. For them to. Either you don't have merit for them to receive. Or your karma that you owe. You have karmic debts with them. The reason why they're in the house, eating things, because you have karmic debts. You owe them. So maybe that's finished by giving you food to them, and the karmic debts finished. You see that's why they're not in the house. So. In Singapore, there were many ants. There were many ants at the house. So I was trying to give sugar, something, to the ants. On the edge. Today, at the house, some edge. Also thinking that so that they may not come in the house. So anyway, they gave pile of sugars, But somehow, the very interesting is very interesting when you actually give. You see, normally they would come, get inside their container, even as electricity they hot, they get inside and get stuck on the honey or sugar. You see, go inside the sugar, and then sometimes you put in the sweet tea. So you see ants there. So anyway. But when I actually gave, you see, they come here, they run like this. So I piled the food here, you see. So they see the food, they knock the food, you see. And they see, but they come round and they just go straight. They don't bother the food. I tried, but they didn't bother the food. So that's very interesting. But when you don't give, see, so it's very interesting when you give. Anyway, basically, these things means you owe them. You have karmic debts to them. That's why that's what they're eating your food or you see get in the house. Things like that. So to not happen that, then you have to pay your karmic debts. You have finished that. Then that doesn't happen. That's why in the South India, when His Holiness Song Rinpoche was alive, living in South India, you see monasteries. The monasteries, they have fields, and they have to live in the fields. In Tibet, actually digging land, making field, the planting crops. You see that in the Sarah Garden Digung monasteries, you can't even plant flowers. You're not allowed to plant flowers. That's regarded as worldly activities, and so you're not allowed even to plant flowers. In Tibet, in the past in Tibet, very strict. You see, besides having vegetable gardens or things like that. So. Also, even somebody's learning a letter, but that I'm not sure. But even somebody's learning letter, see, grammars, poetries, and those are also got to kind of worldly. So like that. So I think not so many. So in these monasteries, main focus is the understanding philosophy, debate, memorizing all the scriptures and all those what's needed, see, root text and come understand. The debate, the extensive understanding and debate. You see that is the main focus. That's the only focus. See in the monasteries. Then in taking initiations, Lama teaching initiation, both tantric practice. Generally, individuals they do, but generally it's forbidden. They do. Generally, say to do letter. To aim to do letter, so like that. So no way, as monk cannot, it's opposite to the vow to work in the field. Same for the monk nun. So, but in India, you see, because the situation's totally changed. They completely changed because otherwise you have the monks. They have no food if you don't work in the field. There's no way to survive. So the government give land, then they have to work in the field, and so the many monks. There's one monk, one who took care of Geshe Rabden in the Tibet in the monastery. One who took care of Geshe Rabden, when Geshe Rinpoche came first time. Geshe Rinpoche said, "What my first teacher who would begin the teaching philosophy, who introduced Buddha, so the Geshe Rabden." So the monk who took care, when you go to a monastery to study, so somebody has to look after your food. Somebody has to give you the shelter. room and food, things. You see, so there's so I think it seems you regard that one as guru. I think very important, and then that one guides that one then guide you, and then for learning Dharma, the debate, you see, then that person, that teacher then find a teacher for you. So that person guides everything in the monastery. So regard to things very important. So anyway, his name is Geshe Gachin. So this very kind hearted monk. He was a boxer. Geshe Rabdin treated him like a teacher. Even though I don't think he taught Dharma, but regard it. So so when they have in the boxer, they don't have to work in the field, because the food, we get food from United Nations, I'm sure, and assembly or something, food, get that rice and dal and some of that. But I think poor quality food. So, anyway, so then they have to work. So South India, when they transferred, because this Baksa, it's a very unhealthy place. So many monks passed tuberculosis. So many monks passed and the sick, because they just came from Tibet. So very unhealthy place. Then some quite a number, being crazy, crazy, things like that. Then so anyway. When the monks moved to South India, government gave land. So they have to work on the field, which never did in their life. Maybe if they were lay people, before they come to monastery, but they never did in their life. So they had to work in the field. So they had to they had to put fire. They had to burn the whole tree, the whole bush, on the field. They have to, not on the field, they have to burn all these fires. And then when they're digging, they saw many ants and worms. So there's a mouse, so many ants. So, but then if they don't do that, they don't, the monks there's no other way to get food. So this Geshe Rabdin's, this one who took Geshe Rabdin, this Geshe, and he and many other monks, you see, that such a time happened, they have to do all this, so many, ants, so many, sending there, get killed. So they simply, many of them cried while they're working on the land. So also, there's no choice, there's no other way to get food. So so what I'm saying. What I was talking before? Huh? Stealing. Sorry, that's right. But I must. Well, since I mentioned this name, who took care, this Geshe who took care Geshe Rabdin in Tibet, you see, it's very good. Very, not particularly, it's title learned, but not doesn't show, normally not understand, just a text, but very kind monk, very just it's just to do daily practice, what what commitment, just very kind life. So anyway, when he was passing away, I thought to mention this since he brought his name. So when he passed away, you see, just somebody who lived very quiet life and do his daily, just the commitment practice and very kind, simple life. So the day when he was passing away, I heard the stories. So he asked me Tibet. He went for a walk, came back, and And then he asked this disciple to make good Tibetan tea. He's not talking about others. They're not talking the same story. So in his Buddha, that's why the Tibetan tea filled in the bowl. Then they made offering. Maybe he drank, but anyway, then he said in meditation, he passed away. In sitting meditation, passed away. There's no particular lineage or nothing. Doesn't show in the education. But very kind, just very simple life. So, but passing away, like somebody has freedom. See, great way he passed away. So like that. So that like many happens in the monastery. Many happens in the monastery. Yeah, very interesting in the monastery. There are some learned, very famous. At the time of death, so much. Yeah, very difficult. Then there's some other simple monk who has not much, intellectual. I mean, there's also some learned ones also passing, of course, very amazing way too. Yes, but otherwise I don't want you to misunderstand. Discourage of learning. So it's not because of learning cause. Well, it doesn't matter. It's very interesting. So there's one geshe lubu. It's a teo sem comes as a geshe rapting geshe long taji geshe with all that. Geshe lubu. Again, this one Baksa, is very devoted to his gurus, very devoted person. There's no intellectual, one day needs some examination debate, but you should no. No, somebody who is everybody knows that it's kind of no education like that. But every day follow the monastic programs, Kampa prayers, puja, every day follow. Then just very simple life, very good-hearted. So anyway, that's how I see him. So in South India, so one day he went to ask Geshe Ujjan Siddhin. Geshe Ujjan Siddhin is Geshe Wantaja's guru. Many of the Geshes that we have in Australia, particularly, they gurus. They gurus like that. So this Geshe Lu, he went to ask Geshe Ujjan Siddhin, I want to 3 year retreat to Pazakini, he said. And then Geshe Ujjan Siddhin said, you're going to 3 year retreat? Tell me what are the 3 pins of path. So then he could not tell. He could not tell what are 3 pins of path. He could not tell, because he doesn't have intellect to think. So he could not tell what are 3 pins of path. So then, how you cannot tell even 3 pins of path? How are you going to 3 years retreat? So Geshe Ujjan told that. So anyway, he did 3 year retreat to Pazakini. Then, when he passed away, he passed in meditation state. He did not 3 pins. He cannot count 3 pins apart. But he died in meditation state. For 7 days, he was in meditation state. 7 days. So we have to think about what made him do that, not by intellect. You see, not only by that. So you see, it's a daily practice. So much devotion, indestructible devotion to gurus, good smile, and then very simple. It's very good, basically good-hearted, very good-hearted, and you see, live good life, very simple, good heart. So I think that's you see, not that. So yeah, the song I come back to song. Before song, maybe one mention. There was one monk in Sarajevo. There was one monk. He somebody who started, not particular famously, but somebody who started. People is not somebody people respect that he has realization. This none of that. So the day when he's going to die, he complete dress, new robes, complete dress. Then he went around Sarah monastery. He went around everybody goodbye. He said goodbye. He went around his assembly and told everybody goodbye. And then he went back in the room. Then he died in the meditation state. So everybody because shocked. So surprised because he's not a person that normally respect as something, realization. You see, a great person. No, normally it's not somebody whom the people regard. So that's why they great shock. Somebody who's highly respected, something then does that. It's that kind of aspect. So anyway. That's right. So here I mentioned coming dates. The animals, insects who come to eat food is because of their coming dates. You have coming dates. That's the reason why they come. And that's possible. This field has a lot of insects, and next field doesn't have. Much less, very little. And see, so that tells about karma. That explains karma. You see, that there's karma exists. So you see. So anyway, so people ask somebody what to do. The monastery, the monks, the field. See. So then Rinpoche about to do sur practice. This is you burn zamba, mixed with butter and other. If possible, crush jewels. There's different things, grains, 5 different grains, then 5 different jewels, and then send it. There's food there. I say 5 or 5, maybe this, like that 5, I think. Special substances. However, basically butter and flour. So you burn on the charcoals, and then you make the smell charity to the smell eaters. They're pretas, those who see died, then maybe not yet reincarnated or intermediate beings. So so you make charity, but you make charity to all sentient beings and also triple gems in offering. The practice involves like that. But particularly those sentient beings, meditators. Anyway, this practice, and then there's another practice called offering one-handed trauma. Offering one-handed trauma. So there's that way where they use those small symbols. So that's a very it includes Lojong thought transformation practice, and that has many things. the 4 actions in the Lama Zopa group, which are part of the thought transmission, talks about joy. Joy, shidan, the tabeti, tela, come to Gomla Joa, Lojan, the Lepsin, applying whatever happens, whatever happens to you, that immediately apply with for meditation. Lojong Tamse Lapsin, by the practice of the thought submission, Samaya, please bless. May my the freedom richness to be meaningful. So that so for this practice of dharma, the practice of the offering handed dharmas with pills. So this contains practice of the 4 actions. So it's got a very important practice. And so this is to make charity. Predators, nagas, all the the 6 sentence, 6 realms. So anyway, also group with Lama Sang. So this is a very good practice to pay karmic debts. Then so much advice this to do. Then one other Rinpoche didn't do, but another Lama, Rinpoche's disciple, another Inca Lama, did this practice. So at the field, and then then all the insects, they're living from the field. They came out. So this is Rinpoche explained to us. So that means you see, you pay the karmic debts and they leave. So this is the method. It's like this, such like this may not be only one day, maybe others. Maybe also Tonglen. So however, you see, so this is the way to do it, not by killing them. You see that by killing them, you are creating to receive another cause of all those problems. You see, like that. So then the crops. So no protection for your crops. It's things like that. And the crops they change. You see, fruit and the crops they change. I don't know how to say. So you see, say. Become uneatable. You see, some here. I'm not practice. I'm not sure. So then, I say draft. So no rains. Draft. Then everything dried. All the crops, if they grew, but they dry. So they become dry or non-existent. They become non-existent, or the seeds get eaten by worms or things like that. And so this is the possessed result of stealing. All these problems are possessed result of stealing. So here we can see all these problems came from the mind. So I was talking a few days ago. Again, you see, before the result of killing and this result of stealing, all these problems of human life, all came from the mind, came from also mind, and came from also in karma, the negative intention. So that, of course, came from ignorance. You see, like that. then the experience and results from the cause, even when you're in the human world, later, after some time, even when you're in the human world, then you experience and results from the cause. In poverty, you experience poverty. So all the poverties came from the result of negative karma, stealing, poverty. And then, even you have possessions, but you have no total freedom to use. You have to share with others. So like that, and then and then always things get stolen. Your things always get stolen by others. Deprived, or taken by force, or stolen by others. So that then you see in the next life, when you're born a human being, again you engage in the karma of stealing. So creating results from the cause. So that so again, same as I mentioned before, from this creating results from the cause, then again for suffering results continues on and on until we purified. This until we purify this one with karma of stealing, which results all that suffering in the future, on and on, endless. And then also, has one thing, and then it's abstaining from stealing, living in the mortality. So these are the basic solutions. These are the basic solutions to stop all those sufferings now and future, which comes from this one karma. And to have happiness, opposite result, happiness from life to life. So living in the morality, abstaining from stealing, like that. So the conclusion is dharma. Is it stop? If you want to stop experiencing problems, practice dharma. This is purification. That's what dharma practice. And if you want to achieve happiness, if you want to achieve opposite happiness, then we need to practice dharma. We need to practice morality. Dharma. So the whole answer for happiness is dharma practice. No, there's nothing other. Only dharma practice. You can see the cause is on the dharma practice. So say like that. And then what makes life most meaningful is that more than this is living the good heart, the low kinds of compassion, bodhichitta. So that that's what makes life even more. Most meaningful anyway. Most meaningful is this. So if this is there, then purification also comes, and collecting extensive merit, abstaining from those, not engaging those negative karma, it also happens. You see, when one practices good heart, so that. No, like genius of a giver D, and then the walk on the campaign, Cabaraji Zolos and Java, a timing board in those What did you? I think accident happened. Accident. Okay, go on. Yes. Yes. Did all the past, present, future made is correct. Doing prayer of dedication is my hobby. Hobby. Some people do hobby this. What? What's this? What? Golf. Some people hobby cha-cha, making cha-cha. Anyway, they say people have different hobbies anyway. So, see. When I'm not lazy, then so my hobby is dedication. Then, oh. Some people's hobby is coffee, drinking coffee. Anyway, due to all the past, present, future made is collected by meditation and made is collected by others. Made bodhichitta, source of all the happiness, success for oneself, and may be actualized with one's heart, in the heart of also family members, and in all of our hearts, and in the hearts of all the students and benefactors in this organization, and those who especially those who give up their life to the organization doing service to sentient beings, teaching of Buddha, and all the rest of sentient beings in all their hearts, without delay, even a second. And especially the leaders of the of this world, to be generated in all their hearts, especially in the countries with a lot of torture, violence, like Colombia, that with a lot of violence, torture, a lot of gangsters, so this say, terrorists, all the so there's a lot of suffering. In those countries, in the hearts of those people's mind, and as and as well as all the political leaders of the mainland China government, and in their hearts, bodhichitta to be generated in the hearts, and. And their originality may be increased. Changju simjo rinpoche maje pa nam je ju je gyaba nyamba meba yi gong ne gong do bewa ra jo. Due to all the past, present, future merits collected by me, 3 times merits collected by others, may all the father, mother, sentient beings have happiness. So that includes, includes enlightenment. May the Lord remains empty forever. May all the Bodhisattvas' prayers be succeed immediately. May I be able to cause all this to happen by myself alone. Due to all the past, present, future merits collected by me, 3 times merits collected by others, may the may Buddha compassion, His Holiness Lama, stable life, all the holy wishes be succeed immediately. May the mainland Chinese, the government people recognize the way they have been, the view that they had towards His Holiness, the concept towards His Holiness, looking as ordinary political person who has the thought of discriminating and giving harm to others. To them or to harm to be able to realize that it's totally wrong, totally wrong, and realize that qualities of business, that the nature, only nature of compassion. No thought of harm to sentient beings, and the embodiment of all the Buddha's compassion. To realize that, and to have great devotion and do exactly what His Holiness wishes, then invite them in the mainland China and spread Dharma. People enjoy Dharma, the happiness of Dharma like sun shining, all the billions of people there. Then also give the land, Tibet, back to the Tibetan people, and it's not to be continue to be to guide leader, and to have to also there. So like the total religious freedom in the mainland China, and as well as Tibet, in this way, to spread Dharma, preserve Dharma even much more. People enjoy the happiness of Dharma even much more than before, and this way, then spread Dharma. This way, spread Dharma in all the rest of the world and exist for a long time. Exist for a long time. Dharma, the entire Tibetan mind, Buddhism in this world for a long time, without interruption. Kare rave gove shingamande pendan dewa malu chungwe chere sewang tenje njazo yi shabe sede bado tenjo. Bande lame guze temba dan kanyam yonglan de ji jungwa da da xie ma le zo sa an du jan ne ne do san je do wa jin je lo de go da virtuous friend other person same so stabilize all the average person exactly then holy those other holy beings who are in this world only to be just them. Due to all the due to all the past, present, future, due to all the past, due you have done already the fourth one. Yes, universal world country area place house, that one. You have done already. That was done already, or not yet done? Okay.
Universe, world, country, area, or place, just by my being there, and the sentient beings who are in that universe, world, country, area, or place never be reborn in the lower realms. May they immediately be liberated from all disease, spirit harm, negative karma, and defilements, and may they achieve enlightenment quickly by actualizing the whole path, especially bodhichitta.
So whichever world, country, area, place, house, wherever I am, wherever I will be, just by that. So to see, cause them to, so not to be reborn the Lord's realms as Niveva then, find for the Rip's karma, and it's like bodhichitta, and then by that, then everybody live their life, all benefiting each other. Then number expense of war, famine, disease, torture, poverty, tension, fire, water, earthquakes, all the problems, and all the sicknesses immediately get healed. May all the sicknesses immediately get healed. Coma, cancer, incurable, uncurable, all the sicknesses. Immediately get healed, and all the spirit possession there those become crazy, immediately free from spirit harm possessions, and have most meaningful life by actualizing Lambram path. That those who are those who have depression, suffering of depression, may they may their hearts filled with great bliss and have most meaningful life by actualizing Lambram. And then those who have relations, so much suffering of relationship problems, may their hearts filled with loving kindness, compassion, bodhichitta, and then fill their life with peace and so much peace and happiness. Then those who are poverty, may they have wealth immediately, and then say those who those who want to find guru, they're able to find perfectly qualified guru. Those who want to receive teachings, they receive unmistaken, pure teachings. Then those who want to retreat, they're able to find time in the place, in the conducive place, and may they have all the realizations there in that during the retreat. So myself being their universal world country area place house, become wishful feeling to all the sentiments to achieve all their happiness and that. Then exercise the whole path of enlightenment, may they achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. And due to all the past, present, future, medical, past, may I able to offer limitless skies of benefit to all sentient beings, and all the teachings of Buddha limitless skies benefit to all sentient beings, and teaching Buddha like Lama Zopa from by having the same quality within me as Lama Zopa has from now on in all my future lifetimes. In every second, may I be able to do that. Two more left. Due to all the past, present, due to all the past, present, which are merits quoted by me, 3 times merits quoted by others. That which merely imputed by the mind. May the I, who is also merely imputed by the mind. Achieve Tara's enlightenment, which is also merely imputed by the mind. And lead lead all the sentient beings who are merely imputed by the mind to that Tara's enlightenment, which is also merely imputed by the mind. By myself alone, who is also merely imputed by the mind. I dedicate all the merits in to be able to follow wholly extended deeds of the Bodhisattva Samantabhata means to realize this. I dedicate all the merits in the same way 3 times Buddha Bodhisattvas dedicate their merits. General teaching of the Buddha, and particular teaching of Lama Zopa may be completely exercised. They may be spread in all the directions, may be flourished forever in this world, by complete exercise of one's heart, in one's family members, and all of us here, in the hearts of all the in the hearts of all the organizers. In this organization and the Vajragani, Narendra, others, all the rest of the center, all the organizers, their hearts, and all the students, or everyone who come here. But Vajragani center, as well as Narendra, support all, all the rest of the centers, all those who come to the Dharma, meditating, to be completely exercised in everyone's heart, especially those who give up their life to the organization during services and also service to the teaching of Buddha in all their hearts, to be completely actualized whole entire teaching of Lama Zopa. And please dedicate it. And made the 500 feet meet the statue, able to continue, start is immediately and continue complete, and to be able to last in this world until Buddha comes, and then liberate tens of thousands systems every day. Then able to cause special thing that cause to general loving kinds of compassion, but it's in the hearts of all and bring them to enlightenment as quick as possible. Anybody who hears this project, who see this, who dreams of this project, who hears of this, anyone who see the statue, circumambulate to make offering, who see the picture, then all this made anybody ever get about law realms, but then exercise find faith Ripskama, exercise bodhichitta, meditate Buddha's teachings, able to study meditate Buddha's teachings, and complete exercise path and achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. And all those people who donate for this study, and then all those who do companies and the police, all those who do work for Buddha, able to actualize the whole path in that very lifetime. Good version, depends about 2 stages in that very lifetime and achieve enlightenment. Choji Jabu, Zonga, Chuzo number of Pewata, Kegi, Sama, Shiwat, Twinji Amalu, Tsama, Shu, Dadang, Shinji, Tusum, Deve, Sonia, Latin, Java, Losang, Java, Damba, Yurin, Banjo. Good morning.